3 months ago, I had a business idea in mind and I told myself I'm gonna grow it to $1 million no matter what. So I locked myself in this room for 90 days to build a product. This software, I launched it a couple days ago and it's already making money. So I'm going to show you how I build really fast using AI, because if it wasn't with AI, I would probably spend an entire year making this product. I'm going to show you the exact revenue numbers and how I'm able to always find business ideas that are almost guaranteed to make money. But before we get started, it's my 25th business, but there is half of the space left on the wall, so I guess I gotta ship faster. Okay, so this is the landing page of my new software called DataFast. It's an analytic tool for people who have a business and want to grow their business using data. So on the landing page section, on the hero section, I show here a big screenshot of what the dashboard looks like. Then there is a section about how simple it is to use the product. So first you need to add a little script to your website. Then you can connect with your revenue data provider like Stripe or Lemon Squeezy. And then DataFast, my software, is going to show you some insights, how to leverage more, how to get more revenue from your traffic. Then there is a little feature sections where I highlight the core features. They're web analytics related features. So there is a playable video for each of them that goes deeper into each of the features of the products. And there is one as well for the growth insight features. Then there is a little section about my story. Why did I build this product? Because I am not a VC company. I am not a big company anyway. It's just me. So here I show my little story. I have also a video of in the past 3 years, I built me going over my software and explaining how to use it, how to get the most out of it. I feel like adding a little personal touch is very important for people like me who are working solo. And then there's the pricing section. So it goes from 9 a month. There's a monthly and a yearly plan. The yearly plan gives 2 months free. It starts at 9 a month and the pricing is based per events or page views, how many visitors the site will get. And it goes from anywhere to from 9 to whatever pricing. There's also a 14 days of free trial, which normally I don't recommend but since there are lots of companies, it's actually a product that has lots of competitors and they're all doing it. And since for now the product is too early to be so different, so special, that it's good to use other competitors' pricing to make mine. And then there is the FAQ section here where, question and answer thing, and a last call to action. So everything goes to this login or sign up page. People can log in with Google and can log in with an email. And to increase conversion, on the left side, I autoplay a video of the software to remind people why they're on this page. I'm gonna go with Google because this is what I use for, I use the product for myself. So this is how I'm gonna log into the app. When people are logged into the app, normally there is nothing here. They will have to add their websites. So there are 3 steps. First, you input the domain name of your site. Then you have a little script to install, and optionally, you can connect your payment provider. Since I already have built other startups, these are all of my projects, the one you see on the back on the wall. And it gives you a little glimpse of what happened in the last 24 hours. And for each site, same, it gives you a little glimpse as well. Now let's pick a site here, for instance, Indie page. It will give me lots of data for the past 24 hours, or if I want for today, if this week, this month, all the time. It is really up to the person. So here I have a little chart where I can see in blue the visitors per hour and the revenue per hour. I also have some metrics like how much revenue do I get per unique visitor? What is the conversion rate? What is the bounce rate? How many visitors are on the site right now? And if I scroll, I will have a bunch of other information like how do people find my websites? You can see that a lot of them for the last 24 hours are coming from Twitter. Which pages do they visit? The map of my visitors, as well as which countries and city they're from, which browser they're using, etc., etc. And in orange here, I can see this is a payment. This means I get $90 from this source of revenue, and I got $45 from marklu.com. And I can also see which countries are bringing the most revenue, and for this example, it's the United States. Recently, I shipped a new feature called Goals where people can input a new goal, like tracking something specific. So for instance, for this app, I track the number of signups and the number of payments. And then later, I'm going to add a little funnel, like a visual chart to see what is actually going on. And then I am working on this new feature. This is very early. I'm showing this to you, but the feature is not live, but I guess when this video will be live, this feature will be live too. So here it is. This is the customer journey. So those are 3 of my customers. And then for each of them, I can click on their profile and I see a bunch of information. I see first where they're from, which city, which desktop they're using. And then I see what brought them to buy the app. So the first visit happened I think it's like 2 weeks from now. And how they found my website through my personal website, what they did back then. And then the person didn't do anything and moved on. And then on October 15th, the person came again, visited some of other person's page, etc., etc. This user has actually been really busy. Sunday 20. And then if I keep scrolling until the end, the final part, the part that I'm interested in here is the payments. So I can see the entire journey, everything the customer has did that led to making an actual payment. Okay, and finally, something I built that I use to collect feedback from my users in order to build the best, hopefully the best analytics product out there is this little dashboard here. This is something I built by myself, and people who are logged into my app can suggest some features and upvote the one that they would like to see in the app the most. And they can also have a little conversation anywhere here where they can leave comments if they want. And what I do is I just use that, I pick the feature that is the most requested and I build it. Okay, so this is the tech stack I use to build this product. So it's a Next.js project. Everything is handled with Next. I have the API endpoint on Next and I'm hosting everything on Versal. I'm using Tailwind and my own hands to design everything. I'm gonna go over some design tips in a minute. I'm using not Mailgun, but Resend to send emails. I recently switched over to Resend because it's easier to set up and I feel like I need to send follow-up emails to my customers after, like for instance, when I build a product in public, I need to tell them, hey, this feature is available. Mailgun is purely transactional emails, and with Resend, I can create audiences. I can create a group of people to which I can broadcast a message, which is absolutely useful. So this is the audience for DataFast, for instance. There are 676 people in it at the moment. And every time I build something new, I easily, in a click, send them a broadcast, like this one, for instance. And I'm also using NextOauth for the authentication. I think now it's called Auth.js. I have 2 logins, login with Google, which is very important because people want to click on a button and log in instantly. And as a backup, I have a magic link feature. And finally, for the database, I am using MongoDB. Some people question the choice for analytics. I am used to MongoDB, so this is what I'm using at the moment. For now, it's fast enough. This is the cluster that I have. It was 0 gigabytes a few days ago, and now it's already costing a decent amount of money. I think databases are pretty expensive anyway, so I guess that will be probably the highest cost to run this business. 2 tips, one about design, one about copywriting. I am not a designer, but I design all of my products. And for that, I get inspired from what I see on the internet. I pick a little bit of this here, a little bit of that there, and I apply everything to my product. So for instance, this is a site that I think is really beautiful, and you can see I'm using the exact same orange color as they do. I'm also reusing this background color, this like grayish background color, and the length, the size of the borders. And at the same time, I love Versal, the platform where I host all of my projects. I love this design, those like overall design where you see all of your projects. And I'm using this again to get inspired to design my own product. Now, if you want to get better at designing and you know absolutely nothing, I wrote a couple articles on my blog. It's 100% free. You can check it out. It's right here, marklu.bi. And you'll see there are like articles about how do you handle spacing, how do you write text, how do you write headlines, how do you choose the right colors for your site. And now about copywriting, this section, the hero section, this is what all of your visitors will see, and this is the most important part of your site. Based on what people see, this is the first impression that matters a lot. This will dramatically impact how many people sign up for your products, how many people decide to give you money. So the design of this hero section has to be crystal clear, super simple to read. There needs to be a headline, a little bit explainer on how that thing actually work, a beautiful call to action, and a demo of your product. And what matters even more than the section is the headline itself. It's very important to pick a headline that is not about your product, but is about the outcome for the customer. My product is an analytic tool that gives you data, but this does not matter to customers. What matters to them is growing a startup. That's why in the headline, in big and bold, it says grow your startup. And then in the section below, I explain how to actually grow the startups. So make sure you build your hero section about the outcome for your customers and not about your product. It took me around 90 days to build a software, and I would have never be able to do that without two main factors. The first one is that I use AI heavily. I used to use Visual Studio Code with GitHub Copilot, but since the release of Cursor AI, I made the switch because it's so much better. So what happens is that I use my own code base, my own boilerplate for my project. So I start the project with an existing code base. And then on top of that, I add features. But because I'm lazy, I'm a programmer after all, I just chat with the AI and I ask the AI to add features for me. So for instance, this is the script that collects information, that collects the page views, the events, the visitors. And I wanted to add a feature where users of my software could see the viewport of their own users. That means I need to update the script, I need to update the event, the model in the database, I need to update the API endpoint that returns data, I need to update the UI that shows it to the users, and instead I just say that to Claude Sonnet and he replies with all the steps, all the things I have to do. And since I know how the code works, I just have to double check, make sure that everything makes sense, and then I just click apply and continue, and I have the working code. So now my job is not to write code, it's just to review the code that is made by the AI. And I think the AI generates around 80% of all the code. Another part that's very, very important is that I ship the minimal version of my app. I believe every startup has a 24 hours version. If we take the big famous startups, Airbnb could be a Google spreadsheet. If we take Instagram, it could be a public Google Drive. And if we take McDonald's, it could be just a pop-up store. I always start with a 24 hours version of my startup. If I had to launch tonight, what would my startup look like? And from that version, I built just the minimum amount of features I need in order to show it to customers. And this is very important because by shipping the startup, I get real feedback from the real world, not my own thoughts created features, but real features, like things that people need. Sometimes I ship something, people don't care. Sometimes people tell me something and I'm like, oh, that could be a feature. And then it's actually a feature that people love using. That's why it's very important to go to market as fast as possible. Actually, I only spent 3 months on the product because it's my MVP this time. Usually it's about a week. This time it took 3 months, but the final version I have for DataFast, for this software, it's much bigger than that. But I had to ship as soon as I can because now it's in the hand of users and they give me the right feedback I need to build a proper product. Now let's talk about numbers. I launched the startup a couple days ago, maybe 20 days ago, I think, with one tweet and only one tweet. I posted that, the tweet went pretty well, 700 likes, which brought a decent number of visitors. The fact that I have an audience really helps, but you will see in a minute that it does not change anything to the fact that you can make lots of money even though you're just getting started. So now looking at the numbers, I'm using, DataFast to track the metrics on DataFast. So in total, there we go, we have the date here. On the 1st October, I launched and it has got around 30,000 visitors. It's mostly coming from that tweet and, retweets, etc., as well as a few people trying to hack my system all the time. That obviously brings a lot of visitors on the site as well, which is not the kind of traffic I want to have. Anyway, so you can see here most traffic is actually coming from Twitter and a little bit from other platforms as well. The traffic mostly coming from United States, India, and Europe. Now let's look at Stripe and the numbers. Okay, this is for today, so $18 for today. In total, in the last 20 days, it made $600. There were, in the last 20 days, since I launched, there are 14 days of free trial. So there are 14 days where there was zero revenue for 14 days. So this is basically $600 in the past, I would say like a week or something. The monthly recurring revenue is at 353. It's slowly growing, but it's pretty slow, but I'm very happy nonetheless. It's interesting to see that it's half of the gross volume, which means that lots of people go for the yearly plan, which I guess it's a good thing. It means that they trust the product enough so that they are willing to pay for an entire year in exchange of 2 months for free. There's one thing that's really wrong here is the churn rate, which is 28%, which is a lot, like really a lot. Earlier, I just said that having an audience does not matter. Let me show you this guy. Jack Freaks. He's been my friend. We've never met each other in real life, but we've been chatting on Twitter for a long time now. He has made this tweet around the same time I launched my software. It's a very simple tweet. He's just saying what he's working on, and he showed a demo of his software. The tweet went viral, like crazy viral, and he DM'd me, and he's already at like This is a screenshot that gets a couple days old. Now I think he's at 600 in monthly recurring revenue. So he has double of my monthly recurring revenue, even though the guy has 8,200 followers, which is great, but nothing compared to my 130,000 followers. And the guy is making double the money that I make with my new software. So here it's very important because having followers, being lucky, having money to spend on ads can help a little bit, but the things that matters the most is that you build a good product that solves a real problem. And now let's go over that part specifically. I found 2 ways to create startups that will make money. The first one, and my favorite one by far, is to scratch your own itches. If you have a problem and you are able to fix it with a solution, a product that you create, someone else might have the same problem as you. For instance, this is my personal website and people kept saying like, oh, it's a beautiful website. I wish I could create the same. So I just built IndiePage, a little software where people can, create the same website as I just did. Kind of like a link in bio tool. And then because I have launched all of those startups, I realized I was doing the same thing over and over. So I created this little code base, this little boilerplate for developers so I can ship my startups faster. I'm scratching my own itches. And if we go back to Jack Freaks, the guy I just showed you earlier, this man has been posting on Instagram every single day for 200 days or maybe even more than that. And he's also posting on Twitter, TikTok, etc. Every day he has to open those 4 platforms and he has to upload a video to each of them. It's annoying, it's painful, so he has just scratched his own itch and he created this product here where you can just upload 1 video and it's gonna automatically post on Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. He's scratching his own itches and this is how he's making a product that makes money. Now, sometimes you don't have any problem in your life or you just don't see it. In that case, you can use the second strategy, which is stop looking for ideas and just use something that is already working. So find a market you care about, some people or group of people that you have some kind of interest, and then copy a product that people are already paying for. Add your own signature, make it cheaper, make it more expensive, make it better, make it more beautiful, more easy to use. This is up to you, but make it yours. This is another easy way to make money because people are already paying for a solution to a real problem. So here's an example. This website here is how I made my first dollar on the internet. I love games, so I wanted to work with escape room businesses. And just like any other business, businesses need to get more customers. So if I make a game that helps escape rooms get more customers, then they will pay for it. If I ask them to give me $1 and I give them back $2, they will definitely pay for it. This is what happens. If you look at now, the business is over because I stopped working on it. I moved on to something else. But if you look at it, this is a business starting in 2018 and it has made around $70,000 just with a simple idea. I knew businesses will pay to get more customers. And now there are tons of other businesses that you can replicate. For instance, if we took the famous Calendly, the software to book calls, you can make your own version specifically for, veterinarians, doctors, whatever this is, like maybe a segment of market that you know better than others, and you can make a product tailored for them. At the same time, you could also think about this subscription that everybody hates. I hate paying monthly subscriptions. Maybe there is a Calendly version where you only pay $99 and never again, and then you access the software unlimited. You can compete with the pricing, you can compete because you choose the right market segment, you can compete because you make a better product. There are tons of ways to compete. Now for the new software I just created, this is a mix of those two. It's first scratching my own itches because I've always wanted to have web analytics combined with revenue data, as well as the typical web analytics. People are already paying to know what's going on their website, so I know I couldn't go really wrong. And then you just have to do the work, share it with the world. Remember this guy, he just made a very simple tweet that went viral. Everybody has a chance. If you show up on social media, if you share transparently what you're working on, you will get your chance. My challenge with DataFast is to reach $1 million in valuation. That means $25,000 in monthly recurring revenue. And I will never get there with the actual version of the product. I will never actually get there by adding features. I will get there with the right marketing angle. To explain to you what is marketing angle, let's go back to my code base ShipFast. In about a year, this project made $1 million in revenue. I don't think there is any other code base for developer that had reached this amount. And the reason is because I used a marketing angle that was untouched so far. Every great code base you could see out there were marketed for the features. Build this, there is that feature, there is this feature. For ShipFast, I took an entirely new approach. This is the headline, and this is an emotional headline. I'm not talking about the features, I'm talking about the benefit for customers. We developers always overthink when making products. We over-engineer everything. I know that because I have been there myself. That's why I have marketed ShipFast as the structure that developers need in order to stop overthinking and finally ship that side project. And it's because of the right marketing angle that I became a millionaire with a GitHub repository. Now I want you closing this YouTube tab, open your code editor, build something and share it with the world. And until the next video, I hope you just ship it.